Hey, hosting a Zoom meeting with your students is a really good way to interact with them and check in on them daily. We meet with our students here for every class for about half an hour every day. But how can we set up Zoom so that our students aren't using it to distract each other, they aren't playing around, and how do we get our students onto Zoom? So first off, if you have your Zoom profile, and here's mine, boy, here's all my stuff. We want to go through the settings and make sure that we set it up so that we turn off features that our students are going to use to avoid doing work, to try to get our attention, and to distract. First off, let's go down to settings. In the settings feature of your account, okay, you will find all the information, basic, advanced, email notifications, schedule a meeting. And you want to go through all these settings and toggle everything you want on and everything you don't want off, okay? So what I do is you scroll down, use personal when scheduling a meeting. You could use your personal meeting room to change your meeting schedules. What I use is my personal meeting ID when I start an instant meeting. And I start instant meetings right before I have to meet with my students. So I have that one toggled on. You can use your personal PMI when scheduling any meeting so that it's always the same ID. I'm going to scroll down. I like to require a password for my personal meeting ID, so I have that toggled on. I turned off only meetings with join before host enabled. I turned on all meetings using my personal meeting identification, and then I set my own password. If you check your settings, there is a password assigned from you, but you can click on this pencil here, and that will allow you to change your password. You can turn this feature off entirely. Some of our teachers don't have a password because having a password is just one more step for our students, and they wanted to remove that. I embedded the password meeting link for one-click join so that if I'm giving my students an address to join my Zoom meetings, they just click on that link. I have mute participants upon entry. That way I get to turn the students on when I need them to be talking. Going down, we're going down to in meeting. I have turned off chat. Some teachers have that turned on, but I've turned it off because I don't want my students chatting on the side. I've turned off private chat. Some teachers have turned that on because if they have co-teachers in the room, the TA can take the student off to the side and chat with them privately. Play sound when participants join or leave. Some people have that turned on in case they are not able to notice when kids go into their room. It's a thing you can choose on your own. I can transfer files. I can give feedback to Zoom. I don't necessarily need to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and turn that off. I have turned off co-host, but you can turn on co-host so that a co-teacher can come on and teach with you. Show Zoom windows during screen share. I have that turned on so the students can see each other because our kids haven't seen each other in a while. And it's nice for them to be able to check in on each other. That's one of the reasons some of the kids are going to Zoom, is to just see another kid. For screen sharing, I have clicked on host only. That way the students cannot take control of my meeting and show me what's on their screen. That's an important thing. Disable desktop for screen share for users, disabled annotation. I have disabled the whiteboard. I have disabled the remote control. The reason I have done this is because the first meeting when we didn't have that turned on, students were able to draw on the screen share, and what they drew was not very nice, so we just turned it off. I've turned off allowing participants to rename themselves just because some of those names aren't necessarily good. I have it set so participants can set a profile picture. Some of our students don't want other students to see their face, so they have a little profile picture. And as long as that profile picture is appropriate, I'm fine with that. Okay. I can report participants to Zoom. I don't do that generally with their students. Breakout room is where you can take, a TA can take kids to another Zoom meeting and talk with them on the side. I don't usually have a co-teacher on with me. Group HD video, that way if I'm showing videos to my students, that's really good. Virtual background, I don't mind my students replacing their images with a virtual background instead of their room. Some kids don't want other kids to see their room. You can scroll through here and turn off things that you don't think is important. I have waiting room turned off. Some teachers turn it on just so they can filter who's coming in. All right, I have all these email notifications turned on. You can turn them off. So go through here, check all of your settings to make sure that kids cannot scribble, say, penises on your screen when you're sharing with them. That was just a joyful teaching experience for me. We turned that off as soon as we could. Now, if you go back to your personal, here we go back to here, go back to personal. Let's look at our profile. I have it set, I start an instant meeting for each class. And the reason I do that is that I have this personal meeting ID. This is going to be the same for me every single time. And I showed you the password that we set in settings. So I have a personal ID and I have a password. And what I do is I click on host a meeting with video on. This will open Zoom on my computer. It pops up actually down at the bottom, and the camera will pop up for me so that I can join a meeting. I start that right before I'm supposed to meet with my students. Here I am in my Zoom meeting, okay? If I pull this down, when I start my meeting, I then go back to my Google Class, and I will type an announcement for my students so that when they check into their Google Class, they have all this information. My students have actually also written down my Zoom codes, so since it's the same every time, I just post the same announcement. Period 5, we meet in Zoom at 11:08. Here is an automatic link that I have that I got from my settings, the meeting ID and the password. Share something with class. All my physics students are getting that. Boom, and then I click post. So then my period 5 students now have a link, they have a password, they have the ID. They can actually just click on this link and get in. And you can get this link here from your Zoom. You can go to participants, you go down to invite, you go down to copy invitation, and then you can copy that invitation and post it wherever you want. Another way to get students into your Zoom meeting is to go back to the class, click on people, click on this. This will email all the students in your classroom. Click on actions, click on the email, okay? You can go back to your Zoom. My Zoom disappeared. You can go back to your Zoom, go to the invite, copy invitation, back into your class where you're emailing. Boom. There. Email. That opens up an email in Google Mail. Now, since we're using a shared drive, I have to make sure my students know what I'm talking about is Davis Physics class. And then I paste the meeting announcement in there. I'm going to get rid of the One Tap Mobile. They don't need to know they're going from Australia. Boom, delete that. Miss Physics, Davis Physics class, period 3, join me in Zoom at 10:04. Have your exercises. I'll click send, and that sends that mail off to all of my students, okay? And again, since we all share the same Google Classroom, you do probably want to make sure they know which class this is. Now, all my kids are going to get that email. I've already sent it out, so I'm not going to send it out again. And now you can go back to your Zoom and you can wait. I have a chime set so that when the kids try and join, I get a chime. I can accept, and they will come in. And as soon as I get enough in to start the class, I start screencasting and we get into our lesson. I can share my Zoom screen so that now my students are going to also follow along. Now I'm sharing the screen in Zoom. And that way I can pull up whatever lesson I'm going. Here's a flip grid we're working on. And we can go through it together, which is often a great way to share material. I can bring up the exercises and my students can ask questions. I can bring up my PDF of the text. So if I go back to classwork and say my students are having problems with their text on temperature, heat, and expansion. I can open up the PDF, make it a little bigger so that they can all see it on the phone, and they can ask me questions about the text, okay? When we're done with the Zoom meeting, you just do the stop share right up here, and that stops the share, and then you can end the meeting for everyone, okay? A very important thing to make sure that you get those settings set up so that the kids can't draw on the screen. I'm not sure if I have still the picture that they drew. It was really spectacular. I hope this clears some things up. If you have any questions, feel free to call me. Thank you very much. Have a great day and stay well.